Hey there, welcome to NASA Launchpad. I'm your host, Justin Tully. Let's talk research. Probably not a topic you're fond of, right? I mean, all that digging through information, trying to make sense of it all, it's a lot of work. Now think about some scientific research, like NASA does. For some studies, we're talking millions and millions of pieces of data. Can you imagine taking 1 million measurements? Fortunately, though, it doesn't have to work like that. There are these wonderful inventions called data loggers that do the repetitive, monotonous work of recording data so that researchers can focus their time and energy on interpreting that data. And there are a bunch of different kinds of data loggers that measure a variety of variables, including wind speed and direction, humidity, radiation, moisture, and temperature. Temperature. That's something you can get a pretty good feel for by yourself, right? I mean, you can tell pretty instantly whether it's cold or hot outside, but in a lot of cases, it's important to get more accurate information about temperature. And that's where the data loggers come into play. For a specific example of a temperature data logger, let's look at NASA's History of Winter Conference in Lake Placid, New York. It's a week-long program that helps train educators, like your teachers, to think and work like scientists. They use a data logger called a thermochron. And for more information on thermochrons, let's hear from Alan Lunsford, NASA technologist from NASA Goddard Space Flight Center.
Thermochron is a little data logger. It's about the size of a stack of dimes. It's really kind of small, compact, and rugged. So you can connect it to a computer and program it to record the temperature every minute, every 2 minutes, whatever you like, and put it then in the field. And it's rugged enough that you can bury it in sand or put it underwater or put it in a snowpack, and later retrieve it, connect it to the computer again, download the data, and analyze the temperature history that the thermochron experienced.
At the History of Winter Conference, the teacher scientists used thermochrons to gather temperature readings in snow. But that's not their only use.
How I first started using them was for my house, to look at how often my furnace was running while I was at work. Because it really concerned me that my gas bill was $400 a month. So you put it in an event and you go to work, come back and look at the data, and you see how often the furnace comes on by the temperature rising. Or you can put it in a refrigerator and do a similar thing. But the thermochron is relatively inexpensive and simple to use and very, very versatile.
That versatility is important because it means that the thermochron can be used for a variety of applications. What kinds of experiments using thermochrons can you think of? But again, the thermochron isn't the only kind of data logger, and some others have some slightly more specific applications. What do you think NASA might use them for? Well, you know that an important part of NASA's research is on how the body reacts to being in space. And a good indicator of a body's well-being is its temperature. But having an astronaut stopping their work to hold a thermometer under their tongue every 5 minutes would be a real hassle. Well, the solution comes from NASA's work with Johns Hopkins University in the late 1980s to produce the ingestible thermal monitoring system. You heard that right, ingestible. Basically, it's a thermometer in a pill that you swallow. Once it's inside you, its quartz sensor vibrates at a frequency relative to the body's temperature, and that transmits a harmless low-frequency signal through the body. That signal can be read outside of the body by a recorder, which displays core body temperature and other vital statistics. And after 18 to 30 hours, the pill is passed safely from the digestive system. We don't have footage of that, for obvious reasons. But space isn't the only place where it's important to know your body temperature. A spin-off from the NASA thermometer pill is now used by athletes in a variety of sports to help prevent heat-related illnesses. This is especially important in a sport like football, where athletes may train when the heat index is above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, all while wearing heavy pads that not only retain heat, but also increase their body weight. Beyond the sporting world, the ingestible capsules have also been used to monitor the core body temperatures of firefighters and divers, two groups working in opposite temperature extremes. Doctors have utilized the technology to study sleep disorders and improve heart surgery techniques. Now remember, we're talking about the ingestible thermometer pills. I wonder if a thermochron would work if you tried to ingest it.
I always caution people, please don't swallow your thermochron, just because they weren't designed for that and they're a little bigger than those. I haven't heard anyone do it. I wouldn't recommend it.
The technology has also been used to monitor critical temperatures in paper manufacturing, food processing, and jumbo television sets found at sports stadiums. So, to recap, whether you're talking about the ingestible thermometer pill or the not ingestible thermochron, it's important to make sure you're using the proper tools for whatever job you're working on. That's NASA for you. From high above the earth to down here on the turf, developing technologies and applying them for mainstream use, potentially saving lives, all in a day's work. That's all we've got this episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Justin Tully, and we'll catch you next time on NASA Launchpad.